Boom, success. You see? So we can move Julius Randle, Dennis Smith Jr., and in return, we'll get Batum and Graham. Yes, I know it'll be a swindle, but I'm not a Charlotte Hornets fan. I'm not really worried if they getting swindled. Hey, what's going on? I'm Keith here at Sports Vibes TV, and there have been some, rumors that the Knicks could be potentially interested in Nicolas Batum. Now, before you guys lose your mind and say, why are the Knicks bringing in all these, subpar players to try to, compete or to compete for minutes that could be given to the younger players? Well, I would counter that and say, yes, Batum is owed $27 million, and yes, we're going to be doing this trade to help the Hornets free up money to bring in Gordon Hayward. But, the whole key of this trade is not to bring in Batum to be a contributor. The whole purpose of this trade would be to force the Hornets to include a first round pick to sweeten the deal. And we would use that first round pick either next year or in the future to help build our core or add to our core. So, you guys might go in the comments and say you don't understand why the Knicks would even consider a move like this. But it's really just another, chestnut checkers type move. You're trying to build long term. And in order to build long term, you're going to need a lot of assets. And yes, at some point, these assets are going to have to materialize and turn into pieces that are going to contribute now. But you have to understand that this regime is not going to change things overnight. It's going to take some time. And unfortunately, they're in New York, where the media doesn't necessarily give them the rope to take some chances and to see if these chances come to fruition. So if they were to do this trade, it would be solely for a first round pick. I can also show you guys how they could, potentially get a deal done. Of course, Nicolas Batum is going to be traded to the Knicks, as you can see. And also, we're going to pluck one of their 2021 draft picks. They have their first in 2021, 2022, and 2023. So they will be allowed to trade next year's draft pick. There are some rules saying you can't trade picks in consecutive drafts, but that won't be an issue here. So we're going to send that to the Knicks. And if we just trade Randle, I'm pretty sure it'll go through, but I surprise myself sometimes. Let's see. All right, yes, it would go through. It would give the Hornets six additional wins. We would lose out on 6 wins, but I'm not necessarily worrying about the win losses when it comes to this trade. It's more so long term, looking for additional first round picks. So this is how it would look if it was going to be traded or set up as it was reported. But, Michael Jordan's been getting swindled this offseason. So me personally, I'm going to try to finesse him. If I'm Leon Rose, I'm getting on the phone with Kupchak, which is the GM, and I'm going to be like, hey, I need to listen to you. I need to speak to your boss. Put your boss on the line. And I'm going to be like, yo, Jordan, you just drafted Melo. You might have a little jam at the guard position. Keep your first. Let's take away the first that I gave us. Keep your first, right? And can we talk Devontae Graham? Because if you out here getting swindled all offseason, let's keep the swindling going. Let me know what it's going to take to bring over Devontae Graham. If it's going, the only people that are untouchable on this roster, probably Quickley, because he's a new addition. RJ, untouchable. Damn, we got to go far to find another untouchable. Obi Toppin, untouchable. Kevin Knox, I won't say he's untouchable, but for Devontae Graham, I might move him, to be honest. Mitchell Robinson, another untouchable. So what, I name 3 or 4 untouchables? We got a roster of people. Jordan, call us. We can make a deal. Come on. Me personally, there aren't too many people or players on our roster right now that I would sit there and say, no, we would not make a trade for Devontae Graham. And what I got going? I got Batum and Rand. Let's say it's going to take DSJ. I think it'll work. Let's see. Boom, success. You see? So we can move Julius Randle, Dennis Smith Jr., and in return, we'll get Batum and Graham. Yes, I know it'll be a swindle, but I'm not a Charlotte Hornets fan. I'm not really worried if they getting swindled. If we come up on this trade, I would love it. If you need to, maybe, throw in some, second round picks, maybe to appease them, but not second round picks that come, 2023 or after. I'm always in the comments saying those are going to be very valuable when the time comes. That's going to be the first year that high school players are going to be allowed to get drafted and stashed in the G League. So let me know what you guys think about the first round pick being acquired by the Knicks from the Hornets. And if you think we could swindle, the same Hornets for Devontae Graham, let me know that in the comments as well. I would like to know because, I'm sitting in the room. I'm thinking, hey, on our end, that's not that bad of a trade. It'll all be up to what Jordan says. And he doesn't have a good track record when it comes to trades and signings. So I would have my fingers crossed for the Knicks. All right. So once again, I'm Keith, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out. All my stress.